Perfect timing. What is this? What is this thing? Oh, okay. Okay, welcome everybody to the Town of Orangetown Town Board meeting of May 21, 2024. That's slow enough for you, Mr. Troy? Okay, Mr. Thomason, on roll call.
Okay, Councilperson Paul Valentine.
Here.
Councilman Jerry Vittori.
Here.
Councilman Brian Donahue.
Here.
Councilman Dan Sullivan.
Here.
And Supervisor Teresa Kenny.
Here, and we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So we just, is there anybody here for the ALS awareness? Yeah, I don't think, she said she couldn't make it, okay. So we do have a certificate, we had been reached out to just if we could, oh, who's here? Oh, no, you're. I'm not here from actually, I'd like to say something. You want to say something on the ALS? Sure. Yeah. Come on up.
Sorry, there's a podium there.
Yeah. Just make sure the microphone is on. We're still having, okay.
Hi, you know what, I'll just use my big voice. So, our grandfather had ALS, and it was very tragic. It was, very, very long time ago, and I'm very happy to know that, okay, because I hope they can hear you. Okay. I'm very happy to know that, things have changed a little bit in terms of medications and trying to move it forward to have a cure. And in our lives, my twin sister and myself, actually my sister's made a most gorgeous quilt that she's donating to the ALS Foundation, because they take quilts for their patients to give to families, and it's a very comforting, wonderful thing. And I just wish more people were aware of this, and so I'm very glad that you're recognizing it. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just, real quickly, we did do a proclamation, but I just want to read just a little bit of it. It says, every 90 minutes, someone is diagnosed with ALS. And on average, patients diagnosed with ALS only survive 2 to 5 years from the time of diagnosis. And as we all know, there's no cure. So it is really important that we do acknowledge it. And so again, we did it. Unfortunately, the person who asked us said that she had a conflict. She was going to see if she could send somebody. But anyway, I'll close with that, the town of Orangetown does hereby proclaim the month of May 2024 as ALS Awareness Month. And furthermore, we call upon all Americans to join in supporting ALS research, advocating for increased funding, and standing in solidarity with those affected by this relentless disease. So we will make sure they get their proclamation, but we did want to acknowledge that. Next, we have proclamation for mental health awareness to NAMI. So I think,
Good evening, Supervisor Kenny, members of the Town Board, and residents of Orangetown. My name is Beth Bay-Duboff, and I am the new Executive Director at NAMI Rockland. As you have heard by now, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I just wanted to leave you with some information about mental health and the reason that we have mental health awareness. Historically, since 1949, this National Month of Awareness has provided a forum for mental health activists and practitioners across the country to spread the word that mental health is something that affects everyone. Mental illness can affect persons of any age, race, religion, or socioeconomic status. 1 in 4 American adults experiences an episode of mental illness per year. Individuals, both diagnosed and undiagnosed with mental illness, are all around us. Our neighbors, our friends, our family, and our coworkers. 4 million children and adolescents in this country suffer from a serious mental disorder that causes significant functional impairments at home, at school, and with peers. And mental health disorders account for more disability than any other illness, including cancer, heart disease, and heart disease, according to the Centers for Disease Control. So, as part of our celebration, NAMI Rockland volunteers have collaborated with Rockland's towns, including Orangetown, villages, libraries, schools, churches, hospitals, and other community centers to display our blue and white ribbon, which you'll see outside, to point out the importance of mental health awareness in children and teens. Take a moment, which is our theme, to learn the signs and keep an eye out for any social or behavioral changes in your children. I'm not going to go through everything that I wrote. I just want you to know that NAMI has sessions that are starting this month, Family to Family, which is free. We do advocacy, we do peer support, and our peer support groups are peer-led and offer participants an opportunity to share their experience and gain support from other attendees. We invite you to explore volunteer opportunities and NAMI's fundraising initiatives. Your support's vital to our efforts. And my final message is, you're not alone. If you're struggling with your mental health, the NAMI helpline is here for you. When you call, you'll reach a person with shared experiences, trained and prepared to offer information, resources, and support to help you move through the difficult times and onto a better place. Connect with a NAMI Help volunteer today. We ask you, all those in attendance, to mark down the number 845-359-8787, or grab one of our helpline cards, and I'd like to be able to leave those out for the volunteers. I've also shared with you the many, many programs, and we just refer everybody to our website, and our website is www.namirockland.org.
Thank you. Thank you very much for what you do. I'll just read again, we have some whereas clauses, which they just jump out at you. They say, where 1 in 5 Americans lives with a mental disorder, and estimates indicate nearly 2/3 of all people with a diagnosable mental illness do not seek treatment. With effective treatment, those adults, children, youth, and young adults with mental conditions can recover and lead full, productive lives. It goes on to say that, basically, it's misunderstood, there's a stigma and shame and fear and discrimination. I think what you're doing is great. I think it's starting that the stigma that was attached to it is slowly being peeled back. Dan and I did a walk. It's 5:30 in the morning Saturday. We didn't see anybody else out there, but was for suicide prevention and for people who've been. So I think people are starting to say, you know what, it's here. It's not that unusual, and we want to work together to make people better. And certainly that. So anyway, we have a certificate, and we have that I, as Town Supervisor of Orangetown, hereby proclaim the month of May 2024 as Mental Health Awareness Month in Rockland County. Furthermore, I call upon all of our residents, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental illness, to reduce stigma and discrimination, and to promote accessible treatment for all. So I will present you with this proclamation. This is for Deputy.
Yes, breaking the silence. There's also something we do called Ending the Silence, which is in October, which is a great symposium on mental health where experts come in and do wonderful talk, and sometimes people who have the mental health challenge are also present and part of that. But what I also wanted to say here was that, in the past, Jossie and I have been coming to this for many years here at Orangetown Town Hall. We grew up in Palisades, so we kind of consider ourselves to be part of this community in a way. And I know that Rena Finkelstein usually comes as well, and she couldn't be here tonight. But yeah, NAMI is just a great organization, and the support that you can give us is going to be wonderful. And I know that your community members will feel free to reach out to us as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. That's quite all right. You're all good. Okay, so we have a good, yeah, feel free, you guys are, if you got to run, we get it. You're more than welcome. Okay, so we have a discussion items. The first one we have is a proposed zone change. This is for Western Highway and Ellsworth Drive, and we have Mr. Brenner to confuse us once again.
Good evening, good evening. Thank you for the time you're giving this particular property. The property has been owned by my client for over 30 years. It's really located at the intersection of Lieber Road, Old Western Highway, and Ellsworth Drive. The client would like to construct 14 single-family houses in conforming with the abutting zoning, which is R15. So primarily he's asking for the zone change to R15 so he can build the 14 houses. I did give you a sketch, if you want to see it, which shows how the houses will be laid out. There will be no through traffic, and the traffic will be primarily bordering Western Highway.
I think we have something to put up here. I have my petition. This is the one that Don had given us,
Right.
yes, some time ago. So I did have a question. Remembering what it is, that was a different thing. So Don, do you know, it's zoned R80, and I see, so it's contiguous to R15. So just so in my head, do you know how many houses could be built there approximately if it was at the R80?
3.
3.
Yeah, well, it's really a strange zoning. This used to be a buffer zoning for the reservoir. The property
Yeah,
was
you can
owned
tell.
by the water company. By a statute, the legislature said they had to divest the property. The client bought it in an open auction, as I said, over 30 years ago. Usually when you have sanitary sewers available, when you have transportation available, that kind of buffer zoning is just out of style. It just isn't done anymore. And primarily what we're doing now, primarily just building houses in conform with the houses that are there, and there's a need for it right now. You can see from your foyer, if you look in the back of it, you'll see there's a need for it. There is school attendance has been going down, and it will fit in very well with the area and the kind of houses we're talking about.
So you're asking for R15, which is going to attach.
Ellsworth Drive will connect for 2 houses in R15. The rest of the R15 houses will be bordering Western Highway. There is another slide if you have it.
But it's
You
not spot zoning because it's connecting right to.
No, it's not spot zoning. It's connecting to R15.
Well, I know personally, we're all aware there's a housing crisis. There's also an affordability crisis. So I think smaller homes are needed instead of these Gawanchuan, you know.
Nowadays they are.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to
Yeah.
find a place. And as I said before, I think there is another slide, but
Yeah, I actually have mine up here. It's,
which actually shows the.
yeah, the layout, but I think
It
we were
shows
gonna
the
put it up there, but I
14 lot.
don't know unless
Yeah.
you had a better, it was never gonna.
Yeah, it shows
It was
the
never gonna
14
show real
lots.
great, but I
And I-
did look at it.
And they all conform to present zone, R15 zoning.
So if we agree, we would accept, is this to accept the petition, or to put it on for, what is this on for?
No,
Discussion?
this is just on
Right.
for discussion. So if the board's inclined, next time it will be on to set the public hearing.
Okay, and then at that point, is when we refer it to Rockland Planning and everybody.
Correct.
It's not coming in Ellsworth, it's not the entrance, right?
2 houses.
Only 2 houses.
Here, let me show you.
On Ellsworth.
Allison, do they have the other picture? The oth- oh,
It's up there, it's just that.
No, there's another one that shows, it's a little bit, here. You see, you go into Belford, there's
Right.
one here, 2 driveways, and one there.
And the rest of it.
Most of the houses will be
Rest are
coming
here,
off Western
also the
Highway.
cul-de-sac. So there's 7 on the cul-de-sac, 2 on Ellsworth, and then a couple on this side and that side of Western Highway.
That their driveways.
This is a
are
better
coming-
copy. We had this one, I didn't want to put that up, I thought it would be too confusing.
Driveways coming out to Wilson. Oh,
1, 2,
oh. Okay.
3, 4.
These are not the small houses you think you want.
Well, it's R15, no, I know it's not this one. But I mean, it's R15, which is, R80 is 2 acres, though, right?
R80 would be 2-acre zone.
You know,
Right.
I know what the R80 houses by me look like. They're like mansions.
Well, I know what there's 3,000 square feet on.
R15?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's something we have to look at. I don't,
You're allowed 3,000 square feet.
you're allowed up to 3,000 square feet on a
1,000.
15,000 square foot.
acre. Or, sorry, 15,000.
That's
square
what,
feet.
that's what went down the block for me.
Yeah, FAR is .2,
That's not a small house.
right?
I'm sorry?
That's not small.
No, not at all.
No, you
One-
can see the ones right off here.
One,
The
one,
zoning in the house.
1.2 million.
Yeah, the one there, Cherry. But they're nice houses.
No, they are.
I mean, it looks,
No, they are, they fit.
Okay, so is everybody, we can,
I'm good with setting
Yeah.
public hearing.
Yeah.
no, we'll put it on for next meeting, we'll put it on. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Don.
You'll let
I
me
mean-
know when it's on the agenda, all right?
We're going to put it on next week to,
Set the public hearing and send.
and refer it out. I mean, I guess it also depends what Rockland County and planning everyone comes back with, but,
yeah, the next meeting is June 11th,
June 11th?
right?
Good. Thank
That's
you.
what I have.
well, we're
That's
going,
just to set the date, Jerry. We could pick a date.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, traditionally, we haven't gone, put something like this on during the summer, people are away.
Well, you're going to have to send it out
So
to the
we can
county
send it
planning and
out.
everybody anyway, but just then just put it
Oh,
over
no,
to.
no, I
Put
agree.
it for the first meeting in September, if that's what you're.
Right, I mean, you want to do in July or August, what you're saying. That's okay. We have to give 30 days' notice to everybody anyway. Okay. That's it, okay, so, thank you. We'll go on to workshop our agenda. We have, I guess we could bring, there's a gentleman here on this item, Rob, is that what you said?
Yeah, Zach, did you want to, I guess, just give a brief, or somebody want to give a brief?
No,
Not
you're
you.
not on this one, Don. No, this is for the industrial park.
Good evening. My name is Taryn Ramey. I'm an associate from the law firm of McCullough, Goldberger, and Stout. Joining me tonight is Zachary Kam from Dynamic Engineering. We are here on behalf of Onyx Management Group in connection with its request for a watercourse diversion permit from this board. Onyx is currently before the planning board in connection with its request for site plan approval to use the 64 and 140 Lieber property as an accessory parking lot. And during the site plan review process, it was determined that Onyx's application requires a watercourse diversion permit from this board. So we submitted our request, and Zach has been in contact with DEME and Bruce Peters, and we have provided supplemental materials, and Bruce Peters has signed off on the permit request. So we are here just to answer any questions if you have any.
And just, what is the status of the project? It's received preliminary site plan approval from the planning board?
Yes, it's received a neg deck under secra, preliminary site plan approval, final re-subdivision approval, and we're going before the zoning board of appeals next week or the week after.
I know. I find this very odd that we're voting on this, because I just rely upon what the engineers and what the experts say, but,
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding, are we moving a stream? Like, what's the water course diversion? What are we diverting?
I'll let the professional answer that question.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, members of the board. Zach Cam from Dynamic Engineering. There is no stream. It's really just a couple of pipes that were put into an undeveloped parcel during an illegal development a number of years ago. So really all we're doing is removing everything that's there, proposing a new parking lot that includes stormwater management that will capture 100% of everything.
So you're making it better?
Correct.
yeah,
As long as Bruce Peters and
I know, that's
building
what I said,
department,
that's the, Eamon had given us a letter
We have
last
an engineer
week.
here, so,
Yeah.
have you looked at this, Eamon?
There was a letter, he gave us a letter to it. That's why I think it's odd, I mean,
Why is?
I mean, the law is from 1970,
it's
so maybe
time
we
to
can look
revise
at
the
it.
law to let somebody with a PE make the decision,
Well, we can
and
send
not a
it to,
JD.
or planning board.
When was it, 19? That was
70.
probably Donald Brenner did that.
Likely,
Don's
likely,
fault.
yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm just
Okay.
confused, why the address is 64 and 140 Lieber Road? Is this happening inside
Yes,
the McGee property?
yeah.
And so are they coming out into the,
We already voted on something for this project, didn't we? We did.
Special,
Yes,
I don't
we
know
had
if
to
there
do
was a special
something.
permit.
There was
don't
something
think so.
because, yes, because the parking lot wasn't within so many feet or something.
It might have
It's
been
not-
moving a lot line or something.
Not in connection with this property.
No.
I know in the past, I believe you approved a zoning line amendment for 100 Corporate Drive, which is in the same corporate
This
park.
came before us, I'm telling you.
But-
That was to do with, I'm sorry, to cut you off, with, what was the name of that project, Jane, with the restaurant place?
Yeah.
Restaurant
I forget the
Depot?
name of it.
No. This project, because we met with them, it was here. I'm telling you for something, I will find it. But either way, it doesn't matter. Because this is
Ring the bell,
the
no?
car dealer, the electric car dealer. that
Yes.
The whole, we met with them and they told us that whole,
Right, for,
So they're gonna be like
I don't-
Reverend.
I don't recall this, Jane, do you recall this board making any determination? I think they might have just come to
I
let
mean,
us know about it. Let this board know about it, I should say.
The reason the address is 64 Lieber is I believe there's one little strip of land from this parcel that goes out to Lieber Road. It's not developable. It's closed off. So there's no access from Lieber Road. Everything has to come in through the corporate park. But that was done back when Bradley Corporate Park was developed.
And everything that they're doing is on their property.
Correct, and the planning board has given it preliminary and taken all of those things into consideration, and the fire inspector actually went out, that road is not, it's a paper road, it's not accessible.
okay, that's fine.
Right, there'll be
I
no
just-
traffic out
I
onto
just
Lieber
want to see
Road.
how it connected to Lieber, that's all.
It will all come in through the
Bring
corporate
$5.
park off of 303.
and you don't think that anything to do with this project was ever before us before?
I don't believe so.
I'm gonna bet $5 that it was canceled.
We can find out, but again, it is a clean
I know,
project.
because we did meet with them, and then I really do
We
think he was
definitely
here,
met
though.
with them. I don't remember it.
I think
if
the
it came in.
discussion probably came up because they needed to develop this in order for Rivian to,
Right, because there was a discussion about Rivian and the cars and the batteries and.
Right,
correct,
the fire, right.
And didn't we have it?
correct, so,
We did have a discussion.
See?
yeah,
No,
right.
here?
Well, I remember discussing, and Jerry
We
was
did,
talking
I'm
about
telling
the
you,
batteries,
$5.
the car, how far apart, and if there was gonna be an alley.
$5.
for the
Right, so they are going
fire
to
department
zoning.
To get in there.
So they received preliminary approval, and they are going to zoning, and again, all the access is through the corporate park.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you. I just wanted to prove I was right, is the only reason I called you up. Okay, no more questions, we'll move on. A hearing, we're gonna set the public hearing date for proposed renewal of the Cablevision franchise agreement. I don't know if you want to
Sure. So both Cablevision and Verizon have, the town is authorized to issue a franchise to allow them to operate within the town. So they were started about, I guess, both of them around 15 years ago. So they're coming up for expiration, and they're renewing them. We actually had discussion with Verizon, and I haven't really heard from them, but then Cablevision came back, and so I've gone through the contract, and I'll send it to everybody to take a look. But it's very similar to what was there before, you know, and again, it authorizes them to provide these services in Orangetown. And it's a little less intensive as the first time, because I think, especially for Verizon, the first time they had to come in and, you know, they had a lot of infrastructure to put in. They were doing a lot of work on the poles, so that is not the case anymore. So, and in order to do it, you have to have a public hearing.
Okay. Any questions?
Nope.
Number 5, accept the petition, request for a zone change. So this is the one we looked, and direct circulation, the one we looked at last week as a last meeting as a discussion item. It's the 283 North Middletown Road, basically changing it from the multifamily to RG. That's the one, yep, I think we're all good with last meeting.
Yep.
So that's that, and we're going to,
I don't think we need you.
Pardon me?
I don't think they need you to talk on it tonight.
Oh,
We're good with this, Tom.
Yeah.
we're okay? Okay, thank you.
yeah, you talked, I think you explained it at the last one. That's pretty straightforward. And then to set the zone change for it for June 25th at 7:10. Number 7 is granting a unpaid leave of absence to an employee that is out with some health issues. We had talked about it a while, so they've asked for another month. Number 8 is approving a change order for the Franklin Street basketball courts in South Nyack. This is, I think it's an $8,500 change, but we did have grant money available to us, so it's covered by the grant funding. Number 9, approve an installation of a stop sign, temporary, at the intersection of South Broadway and Elizabeth Place for 6 months. Number 10 through 16, we're going to combine and approve, but I do have, on 14, the school district, Palmer School District wants to use our showmobile. They have an art in the parks, so I want to waive the fee, because we have the farmer's market there, and they don't charge us anything, so I thought it would be fair that we don't charge them $500 on that. So that's the only, we'd have to add and waive a fee, if everyone's okay with it.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
We use that field for a lot of stuff.
Okay. So then how do I do this? Okay, so Les, why don't we do,
At no fee.
what's that?
At no fee.
At no fee, yeah, so we can make that change, and then we're gonna combine items 11 to 16, which is, they're all lend assistance. So the Palisades Memorial Day ceremony on May 27th. Lend assistance to the 2024 Spark Hill Memorial Day Parade. As you see, it's barricades from the Highway Department. Approve lend assistance for the Clausland Mountain Watch Fire on May 30th. Again, lend assistance to the school district for their Arts in the Park. Lend assistance to St. John's Henry Eucharist Procession on June 2nd. And approve lend assistance for Porta Johns for the Blue Hill celebration on July 19th. So we will combine all those and approve them, and the audit and executive session. Okay. So, on that note, can I get a motion to open the public comment?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, there is no one signed up to speak in the public portion. Is there anybody that would like to speak that hasn't signed up? Wow, okay. Motion to close?
I'll make a motion to close. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 3, approve the water course diversion for 64 and 140 Lieber Road in Blauvelt, New York. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 4, set the public hearing on the proposed renewal of the Cablevision franchise for June 11th, 2024 at 7:05 PM.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 5, accept the petition and request for a zone change and direct circulation of proposed local law amending the town zoning map for 283 North Middletown Road in Pearl River.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 6, set the public hearing on a proposed zone change for 283 North Middletown Road for June 25th, 2024 at 7:10.
I'll make a motion.
Second? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
You could just pick whoever you want, Joe. They both said it at the same time. Number 7, grant extension of unpaid leave of absence to employee 2152 through June 25th, 2024.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approve the change order to the Franklin Street Basketball Court for curbing repair and replacement in the amount of $8,500. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approve the installation of a stop sign at intersection of South Broadway and Elizabeth Place in South Nyack for a 6-month regulation. Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You made the people in South Nyack very happy,
Why do you need a stop sign?
because it's a whole to-do. You know, they ran to
I
Channel
understand.
12, Channel 12 was involved.
I understand. I
Anyway.
understand. I'm just,
Yep, I hear you. It's temporary. We'll see how it goes. Okay, number 10, combine and approve items number 11 through 16,
As amended.
as amended, number 14, to waive the fee.
Motion.
Second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, on the audit.
Good evening. Tonight's audit consists of 2 different warrants. The first warrant is for $285,000. It was for utilities. And the second warrant had 139 vouchers for $747,000. Items of interest were the Capasso, actually number 2, the Capasso invoice for April recycling. Number 7, Fred Devon's construction, which was for the Tier 4 pump station repairs. Number 8 was Global Montello for diesel and fuel. Number 10 was a J.P. Morgan equipment finance for $53,000. That was actually the final payment for our energy performance contract. Number 13 was S&L Plumbing and Heating, $43,000 for our HVAC on this beautiful building. And then number 14 is Sport Tech, and that was $24,000 for crack repairs and resurfacing at the Parks tennis courts. Any questions?
Nope,
Nope.
thank you.
Thanks.
I make a motion, we approve and accept the audit.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we do have an executive session to talk about the sale of land that might affect the value. Anything else there, Mr. Magrino? Do we have any?
I don't think so.
Okay. But we may want to come out and vote on some new business. So we have 2 opening positions on the boards, and I met one of the board members over the weekend, and she's very concerned that they're having problems with a quorum, especially over the summer. So do we have resolutions ready if we want to do them?
I think
Under new business?
I know I've heard.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
we
we-
might want to vote on it when we come out.
Right, but we can do it.
Oh.
There are resolutions that exist that we can send to
Okay,
Joe. for-
so we're going to go to executive session. When we come out, we may vote on appointments to 2 of the land use boards. Okay, so, on that note, can I get a motion to go into executive session?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Just in case anybody's not going to continue watching, we do have some adjournments. Josephine Urban, who is a resident of Orangetown and former chairperson of the Orangetown Senior Citizen Club, and Mark Woods, as we all know, passed too soon, the town of Clarkstown, newly elected councilman. So, on that note, we will run into executive session. 54.
Motion.
Second? Brian's missing, but we'll say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So, are we waiting for Brian? Okay, so we have a resolution to appoint Anthony D. Robertus to be the alternate member of the Orangetown Zoning Board of Appeals for a period of 1 year, commencing May 2022, 2024, expiring December 31. Well, that's not a 1 year period, it's to finish a term.
Right, it's finishing, yeah.
Okay.
It's only till the end of the year.
That's not right there, but, okay. But you'll fix it tomorrow. Okay, so can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then we have a motion to appoint Michael Sandhage to a member of the Orangetown Architectural Community Appearance Board of Review for
You could say a term.
a term. And expiring on December 31. Okay.
They're real different.
Vote.
Second?
I'll second.
Yeah, you can go.
All in favor?
That's fine. Aye.
Okay. And that, motion to close?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.